I should have known. That thought kept replaying in my head, over and over again, as I sat alone in my car, gripping the steering. The street was empty, the dull glow of a street lamp flickering above, casting long, eerie shadows on the pavement. I couldn't quite place a rage, regret, disgust. Maybe all of them at once. I should have known the first night I met her. It had been too easy, too fast, too perfect. We met at a bar, a loud and crowded place I never would have gone to if my buddies hadn't dragged me out. She was stunning, long dark hair, full lips, a smile that could make a man forget everything else in the world. And the way she looked at me? Like I was the only person in the room. We talked for an hour, maybe less. I don't even remember what we said, but I remember how it ended. I took her home that night. She didn't hesitate. She didn't play hard to get. She wanted it. And for years, I told myself that it was just the way things worked sometimes. Chemistry, passion, whatever excuse made me feel better. But now, sitting there, watching her from a distance, I knew the truth. If she gave herself to me that easily, who else had she given herself to? The suspicion had started as a whisper in the back of my mind, an intrusive thought I tried to ignore. But once the idea was planted, it grew like a disease. I started noticing things. Little things. The way she guarded her phone, always flipping it over when she set it down. The way she started coming home late, offering too many details, like she had rehearsed the excuse beforehand. The way she suddenly put more effort into her appearance, new lingerie, perfume, a gym membership she never seemed to actually use. And then, the biggest red flag of all, her sudden lack of interest in me. Our bedroom, once filled with passion, had turned into nothing more than a routine. She made excuses. She was tired, stressed, not feeling well. At first, I believed her. I wanted to believe her. But the truth was simpler than that. She had given herself to someone else. I needed to know for sure. So I hired a private investigator. His name was Mitchell, an older guy with graying hair and a no-nonsense attitude. He didn't ask questions about why I was suspicious. He had seen it all before. He just nodded, took down her details, and told me to give him a few days. Those days were the longest of my life. Every time she kissed me goodbye, I wondered if she was going to see him. Every time she laughed at her phone, I wondered if she was texting him. Every time she touched me, I wondered if she was imagining him. And then, 5 days later, Mitchell called. You were right. Hearing it out loud made it real. She's been meeting the same guy. Hotels, restaurants, parking lots. I have photos. Photos. Proof. The evidence I needed. My world shattered in an instant. But in the middle of all that devastation, something else took root. I wasn't just going to let her go. No, I was going to make her suffer. I met Mitchell in person to pick up the evidence. I wanted to see it with my own eyes, to know that I wasn't crazy. He handed me a folder, thick with photos, time-stamped records, and even screenshots of messages he had managed to recover. I took a deep breath before opening it, my fingers trembling slightly. The first photo punched me in the gut. There she was, my wife, the woman who swore she loved me, who promised me forever, wrapped around another man. The picture was taken just outside a hotel, their bodies close, her face tilted up toward his, that same hungry look in her eyes that I used to think was only for me. I flipped through more pictures. A different night. A different place. The same betrayal. One image stood out, a shot taken from inside a parking garage. They were in his car, her hand gripping the back of his neck as they kissed. Mitchell's voice cut through my daze. I know it's a lot to take in. I closed the folder and exhaled slowly. I had seen enough. I didn't need any more proof. I knew what I had to do. I spent the next 2 days in silence, pretending. Pretending I didn't know, pretending that my world hadn't just collapsed. I even asked how work was going, how she was feeling, playing the part of the oblivious, loving husband. She had no idea that every second I spent with her was fueled by rage. That night, she cuddled up next to me on the couch, resting her head on my shoulder like nothing had changed. Like she wasn't betraying me every chance she got. Her phone buzzed, and I felt her tense slightly before flipping it over on the cushion beside her. Him. She thought she was so damn smart. I smiled. Soon, she'd realize how stupid she really was. I had always been a patient man. But patience had its limits. And she had crossed every line imaginable. I put my plan into motion. First, I went to the bank and secured our assets. I removed her from every account she had access to, ensuring she wouldn't be able to touch a single dime. The house? Already in my name. The car she drove? Registered under me. Next, I went through her things quietly, methodically, like a man preparing for war. I found expensive lingerie I had never seen her wear for me. A necklace I never bought her. Perfume that smelled unfamiliar. Every discovery was another knife to the chest. Then, I prepared the final piece of my revenge. A trap. The night before I executed my plan, I acted normal. We had dinner together, talked about work, laughed at a stupid reality show on TV. She kissed me goodnight like she always did, not realizing it would be the last time. She had no idea that while she was sleeping peacefully beside me, I was already gone. The next morning, I left early. Not for work, but for something far more important. By the time she woke up, her life would be unrecognizable. I started with her car. I had already arranged for it to be taken, towed away before she even got out of bed. I made sure the paperwork was in order, so there was no way for her to reclaim it. She was now without transportation. Next, I locked her out of everything. The bank accounts, the credit cards, even the utilities for the house. She wouldn't have access to a single dollar. She was financially paralyzed. Then, I made my exit. I left behind a single envelope on the kitchen table. Inside, a printed copy of the detective's report. Every photo, every timestamp, every lie. A complete breakdown of her betrayal. And on the very last page, written in bold, black ink, "You were never special. Just easy." I turned off my phone for the next 12 hours. When I finally powered it back on, the messages flooded in. "Where is my car? Henry, what's going on? I can't log into anything. Are you doing this? Where are you?" And then, the last one. "Please, we need to talk." I smiled. "No, we didn't." I blocked her number.